Kristen, chill the out. It's the Kristen Chill Out podcast.
Hey, you guys, I'm chilling out with Dean David. How are you, Dean?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Dean's, I'm good. Well, everyone knows the answer to that. If I say good, assume bad.
Okay.
Because if I say bad, assume like almost dead. Did that make sense?
It makes sense. It's okay if you're not doing good.
No. Well, I was actually doing good. And it's funny how this worked out really well because I was very serene before the show. And then something happened that made me not serene. And when I was on my way, I was like, I'm too serene to tape Kristen Chill Out because I'm already chilled out. Mm-hmm. So it was like God intervened and made me not chill, which I'll talk about in a minute. But Dean David is a very funny comedian.
Thank you.
And an upcoming star.
Yeah, let's still see what happens.
I mean,
I'm like a star that exploded. I'm like a red star.
Right. I used to say, instead of, it's like shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars.
Yes.
Since we're doing a podcast, I feel like this is appropriate. It's like shoot for the moon and you'll land among the podcasts.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like the self-deprecating comment, like.
So you're saying that because
movie.
things didn't work out for both of us, we ended up here in this
Exactly.
podcast?
Well, no, you still have time.
Yeah, but I think you do too. I don't think you should count yourself out. I think we're both just doing what we know what we can do as much as we can do it.
Yeah, I guess.
I try. We try. Everyone tries, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we just suck.
That could be it. No, you don't suck at all.
You don't suck.
You're very funny. Every time Dean's on stage, it's like here's the guy that's really good on the show.
Thanks. I mean, sometimes it doesn't go very good either, and that's a hard time. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I could just be seeing you at the right times, and
yeah, when I'm with you, I feel good. So
yeah, that's true.
Helps. It helps.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's an energy thing.
Yeah,
but you stand out like if I were a casting director or something, I'd go, okay, this kid's got it. And I don't say that often, but I said it the last podcast I did, but I don't say it very often, but I do mean it.
Well, I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. So Dean and we're buddies, and we've connected on our love of furries.
No.
No, our love of and hate of being a comic and being neurotic.
Yes. Well, we're both neurotic and comedians, and I think we connected because of mutual life experiences.
Yeah.
Like similar life experiences.
Yeah, which means not good ones.
Yes, I mean particularly not that. Yes, in particular the not good ones.
Imagine
because that helps when you find someone that's going through what you're going through, then you can talk to them about it.
Right.
Because not everybody can. You can't talk to everybody about everything. You
No.
only get so much out of it,
Right. Imagine connecting with someone over something really positive.
That happens, and we do that too.
It does?
I think, yeah, it does happen.
See, I've never experienced it.
That's not true. You have.
If I have, I've probably wiped it out of my memory because it doesn't fit in with my persona.
100%.
But there was this dating app that came out years ago, and I wish it took off because it was right up my alley. No pun intended. But it was matching people based on things that they hated.
Okay.
And I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I hate.
What's it called? It's an app?
I can't remember what it was called. It was years ago. It was an app. It didn't last.
Did you meet people?
Not enough people were on it. But the
Yeah.
only reason I knew about it was because I do a dating podcast and I'm a dating coach.
Yes.
So that's like I gotta know the
Yeah.
the news, and whatever. But I did go on it, and it seemed like everyone matched over the fact that they didn't like that app because it just disappeared.
Yeah, well, it's not I can see why it wouldn't work. It seems like a pretty negative way to begin a relationship. Like just two people hating things together.
Yeah, but like I mean,
we know each other. What do you hate? And let's meet up and just talk about how much we hate it. It's
yeah,
like terrible.
I thought it was a genius because I don't know. As someone who likes to, I like to, I don't know, pontificate over the smallest shit in the world. It to me was like, oh great, someone else who's neurotic who will like notice the small things that are off in the world, and we can be like,
Yeah.
we'll have the same soul.
Yeah.
But it was like you filled out like your answers to do you like this or that? Or do you not like this or do you not like that? So it wasn't like as organic as it could have been. But it was basically kind of like, you know, do you hate when people walk slow in a parking lot? And it's like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, what a specific question, too.
Right.
I know. Sounds like the guy that made it hates it.
I know. Maybe I made that question up. And
maybe the guy that made
peeve.
the app was trying to find one person. Maybe he was just seeing who else answered the questions.
That's like the ultimate Craigslist lost and found, whatever that is.
I don't know, but
what is that? It was before your time, I think.
I'm also just like technology.
The misconnections?
Misconnections.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed
Jorge,
that.
how old are you?
28.
He's younger.
He's young. I mean, I'm just bad at. I'm not tech savvy and like I don't know about stuff. I mean, what can I say?
But it is the ultimate misconnections. If you ever do miss someone, as in she's hot, I saw her on the train, posted on Craigslist, she might be going, I saw this hot guy on the train.
Really, people do that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they've like statistics on.
Yeah, I think people see a lot more than we think what they do, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, like
people just act like they don't care about stuff, but like,
yeah. Imagine you made just split second longer eye contact. Not like I'm a murderer long eye contact, but I'm attracted to you eye contact.
Yeah.
And the girl noted.
Yeah.
And she felt something.
I had a girl ask me one time because after a show we talked after the show, and then she was like, "Be honest, like, were you eyeing me before the show?" I was like, "Interesting." Like she thought that I was like that's why we were talking now is because she thought I had a plan to do so, and it wasn't. But I just thought that was interesting.
Huh. I wonder if she thought you actually were, or if that was her excuse.
Well, I talked to her, so she didn't need the excuse.
Oh.
In the middle of the conversation, she was like, "Be honest."
Oh.
She's like, she wanted me to admit something, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "No, but interesting." I just thought that was an interesting question.
I think she might have been right, and you didn't realize you were eyeing.
Maybe I might have seen her, but I saw
That's true.
everybody. I looked at everybody in the room.
That's true. That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Even doing like a quick scan, if you're really confident, you can interpret it as anyone's eyeing you.
Ideally, yeah. I just like to look at everything as much as I can, you know?
Yeah. So why are you a comic? Is it because
My
is it
life
because you're
sucks.
sad? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
but
basically.
but it doesn't.
I think it kind of does, actually. I mean, if I'm being real, but I mean, I'm not to be like. I try to have a good attitude about it. Like, you know, I don't have like a pity party about my life. But I think, yes, it's bad. Like, if you think about what good life looks like, because you should have a standard for a good life, in my opinion. Like, there is good and there's bad. Like, if you don't talk to anybody, and you have nobody to hang out with, that's bad. Like, you shouldn't think that's normal or good. Like, if you have a lot of people to talk to and people want to hang out with you, that's good, in my opinion. Like, that's a good life. And so, starting out my life, I have a very, like, small family. I have, like, a mom and a sister and a brother, all different dads, living in a one-bedroom, poor, so poor. Like, my friend has, like, 60 shoes. If you know what I mean? Like, you know what it would take to want 60 shoes?
Right.
Like, that means you have to have all your problems.
I don't even leave the house 60 times a year. I wouldn't have a chance to wear all 60.
I mean, I just don't have it in me to be like, there's not mental space in me to want accessories to my existence. Like,
Right.
I probably wrote it off
Right.
a long time ago. Like,
It's kind of like the hierarchy of needs. So,
Yeah.
like in your mental health, it's like, no, I need to want to kind of be here first. And then I think 60 sneakers is at the top of the pyramid.
if I buy 60 sneakers, I'm not going to have a home to have 60 sneakers in. So that's why I cannot have those. But yeah, I mean, that's why.
Or have a home big enough to fit.
Yeah. Well, I won't
60
have the home. I'll lose. I can't. I don't have rent money. Like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. But
But did that drive you into comedy?
well, I was in high school, 15, and anxiety ridden, and just like, you know, failing as a species of person. Just like nobody wanted to know me. I wasn't making friends, and the people who I did talk to were like people who also didn't have their shit together, like kind of like the lamest people around.
Well, you do that bit about the Jews didn't want to hang out with you
Yeah,
because they didn't
it's my
think you were
origin
Jewish,
story
but you're
joke.
but you're Jewish.
That's true. When I was a kid, Jewish people in my neighborhood bullied me. They thought I was Hispanic, and then I told them I was Jewish, and they were like, "No," and then they forgot later. Like, they bullied me again, and then they were like,
and they also didn't believe you because you were poor.
Well, also the Jewish kids, like, I remember being in a synagogue, but like the synagogue didn't want me. And I remember like talking to the Jews, like me, and there's like a fence, and there's me. Like, I'm alone, and there's all the kids, and there's like a fence. And they're like, "Dean, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, guys, like, I'm gone. I'm not going to be here anymore." And like, that was the last I ever spoke to them. Like, I remember being like super.
Why though? Because of your look?
No, because they didn't like our family. They didn't like my investment in Judaism and what it seemed like. Like they knew I had no invested interest in the religion.
Yeah.
So, and I just didn't. I think our family was perceived lowly and poorly.
Were these
I think
people Orthodox Jews? Or
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
They're the Orthodox. I'm glad I'm not one of them. Like I don't want to be an Orthodox Jew.
Well, I mean, the outfit.
Yeah, and
You know,
like
I mean,
the
that's
hair.
kind of killer.
No.
And getting confused as an Amish person. I mean, that's
Yeah.
for me because I grew up around the Amish. When I saw it,
Yes, I'd be missing out on.
wait, no, Orthodox. This is where I.
No, they
show
do
my
look like
ignorance.
those.
Okay, but Hasidic versus Orthodox.
Oh.
What's the?
Well, Orthodox people are how you describe it, and I don't even know. I don't even know how to
I know
describe
the
it.
Hasidics. They wear that hat. It goes like this. Probably not the best time to be talking about Jews right now in 2025. I love Jews.
Okay, we're both. I'm a Jew.
Yeah,
You're a
you think
Jew?
we're both Jewish?
You're not Jewish, are you?
No,
I thought you
from
were
this
Jewish.
side I am.
I thought you were Jewish. My
This
bad.
side I'm Catholic. Or yeah, no, I've always kind of, in a way, pretended I was Jewish in a sense, even though I'm wearing a Jesus pendant, because I related to since I was little, Jerry Seinfeld, and he was Jewish, and it was like he thought like I thought, you know.
Yeah, he's very annoyed, and he sounds like a stoner a little bit. If he was like not Jewish, if you said what he was thinking without the Jewish appeal, I feel like he's like a stoner.
That's a good
He's like,
point.
we're all out. Yeah, no, we're not out. We got to go back in.
Right.
Like, all right, what are you saying? You
Right.
fucking lunatic.
Right, that's a really good point.
He sounds stoned. He's just
and he's
Jewish.
the least stoned person
Yeah.
ever.
Well,
His
he
brain just
perceives
thinks
himself that way. He, you perceive him like put together, but
Yeah.
he sounds like a fucking stoner.
Well, I heard he meditates.
That
which,
makes sense.
Which surprised me.
I meditate. Do you not meditate?
I sleep.
You sleep. But you ever just sit there and you just like collect yourself?
I try to meditate, and I fail every time. But I do keep trying.
I stopped failing when I used to go like, like I used to think that was real meditation. So when you do that, that's stupid. But
No, I think it might be.
maybe to a certain degree. But I sit and I'll think. I'll like try to make sure I keep track of where I am because sometimes I lose myself.
Yeah, that's a good thing though. Sometimes you want to lose yourself. Sometimes,
But
when
then I
you're in your
become
head so much.
But then I'm very dysfunctional, so I have to like make sure I'm around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what kind of meditation? Well, it's not even a kind of meditation. The only meditation that I've done that I've really kind of gotten, I think, lost in a good way was where I just tried to pretend I had no limbs, no body, no nothing. And I was just consciousness in my head. And I got to the point where I did kind of melt away in body form for like, I don't know. To me, felt substantial, but it was probably like 45 seconds or a minute where I really hit it. But it was the first time where I went, oh, like I kind of get it. Not meditation necessarily, but just the detachment of. It was nice, and I wish I could do it more.
Yeah. It's practiced. It's a practice a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I try.
It's hard to do when you're horny, though, too, because I mean, if you're throbbing down there, you're like, how do I not feel my body? I'm just kidding.
Being horny is
I'm
so
never-
healthy, though. If
I'm
you're
never
horny.
horny.
You're
Yeah.
never horny?
No,
Oh.
no.
Really?
Yeah.
You must be
Unfortunately.
something.
No, I mean, not for a while. I haven't been. I'm hoping it'll come back
It will.
at some point.
It will. What do you think made it go away? Meeting bad people, maybe?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see
Just
that.
kind of like.
Maybe your vagina's scared now. It's like, I don't want to meet another guy like that.
Well, you know, the chastity belts. My vagina put on its own chastity belt out of.
Your body. It's your body. Your body's saying,
my body.
listen to me.
It put on its own. It clicked it right in, and it threw away the key. I'm trying to find the key. Can't find it. It's supposed to be under someone's doormat. I've looked under all these doormats. Can't find it. So
It's in your heart. That's what they would say.
I know, but I have no access to my heart either. It's a problem.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. So how many times a week do you think you feel normal and like okay-ish versus bad and down?
Lately, it's been like I get very fleeting moments of feeling good, and then most of it is horrible.
So fleeting moments as in like a few minutes a day?
Sometimes it's just a quick moment. Like I'll really think about a good moment for a while. Like I had a really good moment 2 weeks ago at my job where I was talking to somebody and I just felt so open and I was really like letting myself out and I was like, whoa, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Then the conversation ended and I'm still thinking about it. Like
Does it make you
3
sad
weeks
thinking
ago.
back on it? Going, oh, I
Yeah,
can't
because
get there again?
I know I'm not up to par in my brain. So, you know what I mean? So I am aware of it, but having good moments come is a good sign that like there's hope that more can come.
What usually brings it on?
When people are a good conversation can bring me into
Like
a
right
higher
now.
place. This is making me feel good.
Okay, good.
But also, yeah, when I'm talking to somebody and it's like, I guess there's a lack. I'm not having as many good conversations and nowadays as I maybe should. So when I have them, it feels great. You know.
Well,
So.
to be honest with you, the whole point of me doing this podcast again is really because these conversations make me feel good.
Yes.
It's a really good outlet. I love having these kind of talks, and it feels so in line with myself. It feels like all is right.
Yeah, it's good to work too. It's good to like be productive. And,
Yeah.
like get yourself out of the house. If I wasn't here, I'd be home. I don't need any more of that.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
I've been home so much. I have no idea what to do anymore.
I know. If
I
I
don't-
wasn't here, I would be home in bed. Would you be home in bed?
I'd probably be just sitting on, or I'd be next to my bed. Do you know what I mean?
Sitting and staring?
Changing. Yeah, really. Sometimes.
So basically,
Just like
I
wondering
do
what to do.
I do the same thing. So it's kind of like we're raw dogging life, like they do on the flights now.
Okay.
People are raw dogging. Do you know what that is?
No. On the flights?
Yeah, you just sit and stare the whole flight. I've been doing
Oh.
that, by the way, well before it was popular.
I think that's fine though. What am I supposed to do all the time? I'm supposed to actively like do a puzzle or a word crawl. Like,
Right.
can I just sit there and
right.
live?
How
Like,
are you not like?
What did people do before phones? Like they just used to sit there. I mean, right? I mean,
Well, I think there were books.
fine, maybe
magazines.
so, but you didn't have to read all the time. You didn't wake up and read a book right away. Like this, you go on your phone right away. Like
I think-
nowadays I do sometimes.
Right. Like I try to think back on what I did when I first woke up before cell phones. I can't remember. I have no idea what I did.
Yeah, that's I look at that like something really important. I look at and I'm curious.
Did we just get out of bed and
Yes, we did. We got out of bed.
brush our teeth? Like
Maybe
in a cliche
we
movie?
woke ourselves up. You know, we were groggy. Maybe we felt the way that we. Well, you probably just generally felt different all around because every day of your life wasn't your phone and something awful that you were doing.
Right.
When you were, at some point in your life, ideally.
But because you're younger, I don't know if it'd be the same, but like, did we put on the TV?
Well, maybe. I mean, yeah, growing up, I don't know. I don't think so. Like before school, I don't know if I watched.
Oh, right. Yeah.
television.
No, I had no time to watch TV
Yeah.
before school. I would wake up 5 minutes before I had to be to school.
Exactly.
So I had no TV time for.
I mean, it depends. That depends. But when you were in school, maybe you drew to distract. You would draw to distract yourself.
tons of
pass
doodling.
notes or whatever. But like, there's only so much escaping you could do. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to escape. So it's okay to sit there.
Did you feel like you needed to escape when you were in high school?
Yes. I mean, yeah, definitely. I smoked weed all the time. I left. I literally would not go to class. So I literally and mentally escaped both times,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So yeah.
So you've been this way for a long time.
Yes. I mean, I've always just been this way.
This is not a new thing.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what way. I don't know what way I'm describing, I guess, but just generally unhappy, I suppose. is
Yeah.
one aspect of it. I have happy moments. I can be happy. Sometimes good things will happen, and I can, take that in. But
Have you ever been diagnosed with any sort of depression?
no. I mean, which is surprising. I mean, I think because I'm so sad. Like people don't want to give it to me.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell me I'm right.
Yeah.
So they just like
You're
fine.
Yeah, you're just diagnosed with aware of reality.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be like I said. I would be happy if good things were happening. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like, and then good things do happen. I'm grateful, but when bad things happen, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So
Well, I think you feel things very deeply.
that is true. I do. I would say that's fair.
Right.
That's a good. I appreciate that you see that in me.
And it's nuance. It's not like I feel things deeply, therefore I'm like a manic depressive or something where I feel things very. It's just like, no, I just have more sensors or something for feeling the depth of feeling.
Yeah.
And so when something's sad, it's really sad.
Or like I heard something yesterday that, I mean, I was in a conversation. Someone dropped a bomb, and then I was just
Like a fart.
No, like they said something that I didn't like. And not like, or something they told me about something that now that I knew that, it made me very upset. And it happened so quick. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, and then I walked outside and I started like screaming.
Oh my God.
And I was surprised to see how upset I was and how so quickly I got there. Like I was fine. Then they said that, and then I was literally like, "Fuck!" I was like so angry, and I mean, obviously, you can't in the conversation with somebody express the anger out like that. I went outside to do it, but I was like, "Damn, like that's a lot." Real quick, you know what I mean?
Did you do that today after our phone call?
No, I wasn't. I was not upset about anything that you did or said.
Okay.
I was not upset.
Okay, well, I'm going to just mention it because I want to tell why I got neurotic. And because I was Zen and then I went.
Yes.
So I was upstate.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I might as well just drive down in the morning because what else am I doing? So I was in the car. I leave late. This is the thing. I choose to leave right in the nick of time every time, but every time it works out. So I don't have the reinforcement saying you should be earlier because every time I leave just in the nick of time, it works out.
Yes.
So I was on my way down here, 3.5 hour drive ish from my parents upstate. It's weird to say though when like you lose a parent and it's like, do I say my dad's or my parents? Because it's definitely not my dad's. Like my mom, that's like my mom's.
It's okay to say parents if you had parents at one point, I suppose.
But then if someone goes, what about your mom? And oh, she's dead. But they're like, but you just said parents.
If someone brings it up, they don't know how to talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Why even bring it up,
That's
asshole?
True. That's a good point. So yeah, 3.5 hours or so in the car for the first time in a really long time. Maybe because it was the first time I saw blue sky in a while or some sunshine.
Gee.
Or I knew
like
I was
Mac
going to see Jorge. I don't know what the combination was, but I was just chill. I was calm. And I put on this podcast that was all about focus. And the guy's voice was really calm and chill. But he was talking about, it's cliche kind of, but what you focus on expands. And I focus on the negative, and then that creates my reality, and then it expands.
Yes.
And I started to just feel really, instead of listening to that and beating myself up and going, oh, I do that, and I'm never going to fix it. I just felt very at peace with it and empowered in a way of going, yeah, I don't need to focus on what's bad and just keep that perpetual reality happening. I can focus on what's good. and then Dean, by no fault of his own, texts to confirm the location of the podcast.
Yes. I mean, you did give me the address, and I copy and pasted it, and it did keep sending me to Josie's, which I just wanted to make sure before I left to go where I was going that it was the right place to go.
Yeah. So when I got here, I looked at the bar to make sure it was called Josie's.
Yeah.
But it's good to know because
It's called Josie's?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. I was just making sure. I was like,
Yeah, right.
I don't want to be late or like take myself somewhere like way further than I had to or like end up being in the wrong place.
Well, of course. So I actually have been paranoid about the address here because I gave Dan Natterman the wrong address and he went on the other side of town. I think it's like the mailing address So I sent him to like the mailing address of gas, like not the studio address. So I've been paranoid about sending the wrong address. So yesterday, so when I sent you the address, when you asked, I was like, okay, Kristen, make sure it's the right address. So you texted just to confirm. Totally fine. Completely innocent you are. I'm driving, and it's my own fault. I'm driving going like 80-ish. I don't know, 75, 85. I'll say 80.
Yeah. Was that speed limit?
I mean, it's 65. I was speeding.
So you were speeding?
I was speeding.
Okay.
But I was I was in my ethereal dreamland as I was speeding.
So you're listening to a thing about focus.
Yeah, and I was focusing on going really, really fucking fast. And so your text comes in, and this is why you should not text and drive, even though I've always bragged that I'm like the best text and driver. But I jinxed myself. Like, I'll die texting and driving.
Yeah. Also, I didn't even know you were driving when I texted you.
Of course you wouldn't know.
I thought perhaps you were even in the studio ahead of me. I don't know what's going on.
Right,
I just
or maybe
don't know.
on the train or anything.
I just didn't know
of course
where you
not.
were or what was going on.
Yeah, no, you're not going to assume I'm going not 90. 80 on a freeway.
Well, even
maybe it was 90. No, you're not going to assume I'm going that.
Yeah, certainly I don't
fast
assume. Yeah, I'm definitely not thinking. I shouldn't text Kristen. She might be speeding.
Right. So I know though that you're in a situation where you're waiting to go what train do I get on or what path do I take? So as soon as I saw your text come in, I wanted to confirm really quickly. So, and I'm not blaming you, but
Yeah.
so I would get to you as quickly as possible and not make you kind of stand there if the train arrives and you're like, do I get on this train or that feeling?
Totally, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I got to get right back. So I'm driving and I quickly was responding. But when I looked down to respond, there was a car parked on the shoulder, dead stop. And I looked up, but the shoulder wasn't wide enough to fit a whole car. So part of his car was in the right lane, which is the lane I was driving in. And it's dry, which is odd. Usually it's so rainy, but it's dry. I'm going like 80, and I slam on the brake because I missed him by 2 feet, maybe. I was very close. I swerved, and then it was the slow motion thing where it is weird. Like when you die, you're definitely gonna be like processing like what's happening. Because it was a very slow-mo feeling where I was like, my car is going to flip. Like, I'm going to die. It was like what went through my head was like, this is it.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
And so, luckily, for whatever reason, the car didn't flip. I guess, I don't know if God wants me here. I'm like, have you not heard my requests over and over? The car should have flipped. Kidding. So I end up, I've never done this in a car before, where you literally go like my car was doing this from the far right lane to the far left lane, back to the far right. Like it should have flipped. I mean,
Yeah, it
absolutely
sounds-
should have flipped.
Well, thank God it didn't.
Right. But yes, but no. No, but yes, I'm kidding. I just have to say that because of the show. So as I'm going like this and like, I'm not focused on, I'm shaken up and I missed the exit. And I'm like, God damn it. So then, of course, I'm back to my like frazzled state.
Yeah.
And it took me from, I was supposed to arrive 20 minutes early. I was like, perfect. Roll right up, pop right in. And that's playing it too close. It's cutting it too close. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So because I missed my exit, now I'm in whatever traffic, bullshit traffic, and I'm an hour late, basically. But I thought, well, that's perfect because I was actually not in the zone to tape a podcast about neuroticism because I was feeling good. I'm like, well, perfect. Now I'm like back to being like, what the fuck?
No, that's terrible way to look at it. But I'm glad you, I think you're doing a great job. So
Thanks. I think it was Stevie, my co-host, who had committed suicide, kind of just looking out for me to make sure that I was going to tape a good episode today. She's like,
Ideally.
you don't want to be in a good mood. That's not going to make the episode what it should be.
a friend who committed suicide is partly why I do comedy too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What was that? Tell me.
High school. His name, he was in a band and he was a good guy, popular. He was nice to me. I liked him. And he asked me to fill in one time as his bassist. So we had like that experience and, good guy overall. Ended up hanging himself, a buddy of mine. I was pretty sad. I went to his wake. I saw his mom say bye to him. That was pretty sad.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
That was like, I broke down when I saw the mom say bye. That was like, I cried, I think, for like 4 hours. Like,
Yeah.
I cried the hardest.
Yeah, so you
Not
feel
that it's a competition.
emotions.
It's not a competition or anything, but I
No.
cried the hardest at the funeral, like definitely.
Well, I probably would have cried harder.
But like, yeah, I mean, I was wrecked, and then it's a long story, and just the bullet points of it is, yeah, him doing that really like just fucked me up, set me down a path where I ended up I looked up the word comedy on YouTube. I wasn't a comedian yet. I was after a year of
That's
just.
usually what you Google after suicide.
It
It really is. If you like,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I think that was my only. That's the only thought I could do. I was like, I need to laugh. I want to feel good, and so I'm typing in this thing that is related to feeling good.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I find something that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And then I found Louis C.K. and then that was what started me on the wanting to do stand-up path. Now that's when I started doing stand-up.
Oh, wow.
17. So, yeah, a lot of series of events.
yeah, I mean, when people meet comedians, this is well known to comedians, but they're not like and funny in
Yeah, it's
real
the
life.
opposite.
It's
Yeah,
the opposite.
I learned that in college. I was like at a show, I was back, when I was very new, and I did a bringer, and I was like in the back green room, and I'm seeing all the comedians. Everyone's like so.
You're like, hey, everybody.
No, I mean like in the green room, they're all just like staring at nothing, and they're all sad.
No,
I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like,
I know.
Fuck. I'm like, fuck. You're all about to go up and be funny. Like this is insane.
Right. Well,
But
when I
now-
first walked into like my first open mic, I was kind of like like I realized
Yeah.
like that's not. Even though I was sad, I just thought.
Yeah. I mean, I was 17, so I was like, I think I was just like, I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah, innocent vibe,
Yeah. And very much so. Yeah.
but on your way to their vibe.
Yeah. Now I'm like, now I get it.
I had this lady come up to me. She was pretty drunk, and I was at, I think, like my grandmother's birthday party or something at this like banquety kind of restaurant or something, and I'll almost even feel like a hack sometimes saying like I'm a comic because it's like I'm so lazy about it. But someone somehow had told this woman that I did stand up, and she's small town, from a very small town. So she came up to me and was trying to kind of be funny. And I don't know, I guess I didn't respond in the right way. And she got offended. And she was like, "You're not very funny." And I was like, "Well, we're not clowns. Like, I'm not going to be on for you. Like, I'm friendly." But, and so she ended up like cursing as she left, like, "F you. F you." I'm like, well, at least I actually feel like an actual comedian right now because I was that miserable with her, I guess.
Oh, wait, so I missed the part where was this part?
It was at like my grandmother's birthday, which was at some kind of banquety restaurant-y thing.
Right. And she got shit. She got
But
mad
she
at you.
like there's other areas, so she was like part of another area or party or something. Yeah, but she got like really mad at me because I didn't like act funny. She was like, "You're miserable." I'm like, "That's what comedians are."
Oh, you're doing it
Dumb
on stage?
cunt.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen to me before, where I'm like too miserable to play it off as a joke, I guess.
Yeah, like I
Like,
couldn't.
I'm just, wow, like I really shouldn't be up here. Like,
oh no.
Why am I?
Yeah, no, I wasn't doing a show.
Oh, you were just in real life.
Yeah, someone
Oh,
somehow.
well, why are they giving you shit?
Because they're idiots.
Nah, that's an asshole.
But she's right. I'm not funny. It is true.
I won't say that. I almost got into a fight on the train today.
did?
Like, not today, but like a couple of weeks ago. There was a guy on the train. It was kind of a cool moment, but it was scary. It was like a dude on the train, and he was like screaming, like like idiotically, like, duh. And I just like,
Is there any other way to scream?
yeah. I mean, you could be like, hey, like the whole, or something. You don't have to be like, duh. Like he was being an asshole, and he was doing that for like 20 minutes. And I could, I was one of the people that were annoyed. It was like a packed train. And I was just at my wit's end. I was like in a bad mood. So I was like,
We're very similar.
so I was just, I just finally like snapped. I was like, could you shut the fuck up?
It's amazing.
And he was blown away that like anyone would ever say that. And then he was like, fight me. I was like, you think I won't fight you?
Can you give me a high five?
Oh, sure.
The thing is, I grew up with that response to people being idiots, and no one else did. And it blew my mind. Where was everybody
People don't want
to say, shut the fuck up? So I had to become the shut the fuck up person.
I yelled in the train. I was like, people
Yeah.
are generally polite, so they're not going to tell you, but everyone in this room wants you to shut the fuck up.
Right.
So you stop being a rude asshole.
Right. That's me. My brother, my dad, and my family, they've told me that, and I've gotten way better over the years, but they've told me, like, because I'm a little pipsqueak, cunty
Same.
looking thing, and someone's going to respond in a way that is not gentle with me, and like maybe I could get myself in physical.
Yeah, they
Trouble.
they want to hurt you because they're mad.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll call them out, and
Yeah, they're afraid of you. They think you're gonna be. They think you're judging them sometimes, right? Like you say they think you cunty is how you described it, but
well, I guess
I would say that they're being insecure.
I would say they're just assholes, and someone needs to call them out on it, and they're not self-aware that you just don't do this with. So like we'll jump into this social etiquette. So I wish I had like official music or something.
It's okay.
Okay, so
Da, 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 da.
we're getting into the segment called social etiquette wars, or the social etiquette debates, starring
Do.
Dean, David, and Kristen Carney. So we're up kind of against each other with the social etiquette debates.
Okay.
No, or
But what if
could-
we agree?
Yeah, no, we'd probably be on the same page. So this is not on my list, but since we're on the topic, curious what your take on this one is. This was when I was probably 24-ish, 23, like young, much more feisty. I was on a flight, and this 4 or 5-year-old was screaming the entire flight. And it was like a New York to LA length flight. It wasn't a hop, skip, and a jump. It was like, we're all, living on this plane for a little while. The entire flight, she's screaming, crying, but shrieking at the top of her lungs and crying. Now, I understand a baby, a toddler, a 3-year-old, but like a 4-5-year-old, and the mom the entire time wasn't doing shit. And I was watching the whole flight. I was just like, Kristen, stay calm. Kristen, stay calm. Kristen, stay calm. Like praying for the plane to crash because that's the more peaceful ending to the scenario. And so the flight landed. We made it. We made it to the landing. I hadn't said anything. Hours and hours. The girl, just like snot, scream.
How close were you?
I think, so she was on the other aisle.
Okay.
And maybe 2 rows behind me or something. So in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting for somebody to say like something, or like, I guess looking back on it as a mature person, I could have said like, can I help you with her or something? But I was not mature apparently. But I'm waiting and waiting for someone to say something to like a steward, like, can she do something? Like take her to the bathroom or try anything? Like she's done nothing. And the girl's like running in and out of the seat and just screaming like the worst behaved child. Like if she was in Japan, they'd Hashimoto her like off the earth. I don't even know what that means. But like you can't behave like that at that age for that long. If you're 1, 2, 3, something like that, okay. But at the age where she can kind of be controlled in a way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no one said anything, and I'm waiting for like a man to just kind of be a man.
Okay.
I don't know, but obviously you can't say anything to a woman.
Was it a mom with her dad or just a mom?
It was just a mom. So I don't know if, she's a single mom. I understand. But as we stood up and everyone was waiting to leave, the girl started screaming louder than she had the entire flight.
Oh, man.
And finally I just go, can you just do something?
Okay.
So it wasn't horrible. It's not like I said like,
it's pretty tame.
yeah, you like single mom loser. Like, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
it was just like, please, just like do something, anything. And then this guy turned to me and he was like, hey, he's like, watch your mouth. Or like, don't talk to her like that. And I was like, me, I'm getting in trouble. And then people started like kind of like turning on me. But then when we got off the plane, now I'm really uncomfortable because we're all walking off and I'm the bad guy now. And I said something, and I shouldn't have said something at that point. I should have just, but I was very self-conscious. As I exited, though, a couple people did this.
Yeah.
Where I was like, thank you.
Yes.
But I've never known who was right and wrong etiquette-wise in that situation.
Well, and to say also, it was my train story as I walked off the train, because he stopped.
Yeah,
He stopped yelling.
People want someone to say something. It's just you're always the one to say it, or I'm always the one to say it. Why won't anyone else say it?
But then I got off the train, and an 18-year-old girl, like a little girl, came up to me, and she was like, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's awesome.
so in relation to what you just said, I don't know. I personally think you were right. It sounds like the daughter almost had like a plan to make her mom look like a piece of shit, maybe.
I don't know. Her mom kind of just seemed like a piece of shit. Like she didn't care.
Exactly, because the daughter wanted you to think that she's. I'm gonna cry on the plane and be a total asshole, and you're gonna look like a total asshole.
That could be true.
Because she is too old. She's 5. Maybe she's all fucking fucked up and thinking all these crazy plans.
She's gonna. I wonder where she is today. She's probably
like leading a nation to murder people or something. I don't know.
No, she's definitely got a boyfriend because there's some weird thing that men go for bitches.
Maybe.
But this little girl, I'm guaranteeing, turned out to be.
In your story, I think you were fine. It didn't sound like you did anything that crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, do something, like anything.
And the fact that people felt like they congratulated you means that they were feeling that way too.
Yeah, but not until the end. But when they did like do this after I got off, I kind of was pissed. I was like, where were you when I was all alone in the back and needed the applause? Like,
Yeah.
and then instead I've got people saying that I'm being cruel to a single mom or something.
Yeah.
But
Well, those were your opponents. You see,
Yeah.
like those were your opponents. So, but your support system was there. Like they were. If you were in danger, they would have backed you up. You had
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You had the room on your side.
Yeah.
But those people were there to oppose, and stay true to the belief that they have to be quiet. I think it's kind of lame that they think.
yeah,
that
no,
that's,
but that's like, I don't understand.
like I'm not saying like you don't have to like, tell the lady she's a horrible person, but like it's not wrong to.
I mean,
how
come
much-
on. I just spent 6 hours.
I
I'm
took-
not allowed to say,
Dude, I can
come
only,
on.
I can only take 20 minutes from that dude that day. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
So I am on your side.
Right.
I think you did the right thing.
Thanks. Today, I wouldn't have done it. Today, I would have just been one of the sheep, gone with the herd, and just been quiet because it's not worth the trouble. Because I've put myself in these situations where I might look like the bad guy or whatnot. But like if
Yeah.
someone's talking at the movies loudly, like I try to let it go. I try to let it go.
If they continue to talk,
But if they talk, I'm saying something. I feel like George Costanza in Seinfeld, and there's a scene where he's like,
I think they don't treat him nicely.
they're like throwing
after.
popcorn at him, but
Yeah.
he's like, he turns around and he's like, if you're not, I don't know, Jorge, could you pull that up on YouTube? Could you type in George Costanza movie theater yelling or something?
He gets up and he yells at them,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and he does it so perfectly. It's just been so long since I've seen that episode, but I feel like George Costanza, not just in the energy of being annoyed, but physically. I feel like I look like a short, angry, bald man, but I don't. I look like this, and so I just look, like a super cunt. But okay, here it is. Yeah, it's.
I think you're a hero.
I am. That's what I thought.
Action, huh? Yeah, stick your tongue down his throat.
I am him.
Should we move?
It won't be necessary.
Oh shit! George, give me a man.
Shut your trap and stop kicking the seats. We're trying
Yeah.
And if I have to tell you again, we're going to take it outside and I'm going to show you what it's like.
Yes.
Shut
I
your
fuck
mouths
with
or
that,
I'll
dude.
shut
Shut
them
them for ya.
And if you think I'm kidding,
Try
just
me.
try me. Because I would
Love it.
Hey, yeah.
But yeah, people applaud because it's like
Oh,
stopping.
so there you go. I mean, it worked out for him right away.
But that's how I feel. So, I've gone down in many levels from getting that feisty. But when I was younger, I would get very feisty. And not at first, not right away. I would just be like, hey, like, do you mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of indignity. You know what I mean?
Right, like, yeah.
Baby
But if they
crying
keep
is
it
fine.
going-
Yeah.
Then I'm like, what? I mean, come on.
You can sense
fuck?
it when someone's doing something fucked up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
all of a sudden, it's like it's been a little too long for you to not acknowledge this even a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, not the bad guy.
No, I don't think you're the bad guy
All
in
right.
that.
I've always worn that on my
You're a hero.
heart. I'm like, oh, I was a bad person.
No.
Yeah, but I look at it like hero, and I want to say you're welcome to everybody. So okay, all right. So that was the social etiquette debate number 1. I think we're on the same page, or
Yes.
at least I'm thanking you for your approval in that. So another debate that we can have social etiquette wise. Okay. And I don't think I've talked about this on the show before. This one's a little complicated. If you hold the door for somebody where you're entering an establishment that involves going straight to the line, so like Starbucks or something of the nature,
Oh, yeah.
you hold the door,
Yeah.
then that person goes
They're
ahead of you.
No, they're behind me.
Right. So, but
I'm being nice. Don't take advantage of it.
Exactly. But what happens is people take advantage of it. They just go straight up to
Oh.
the spot when it's rightly your spot. But are you also giving it away when you choose to open the door?
No. Well, I mean, it's interesting, yeah, because you're being polite. You don't have to hold the door for them. No one opened the door for you, so now you're like their slave. And in addition to them seeing you as their slave, you're not a person, so now they can take your spot because you're a slave. You've
Right.
made yourself a slave in their head all of a sudden.
Right.
But I think you could do it. I think you could be polite. open the door and still assert your spot.
And then like run.
Well, I'm not going to run,
in
but I'll
front
be
of
like,
him?
I would say it. I think I would say it. I'd be like, listen, I would have like a Larry David
I
moment.
know you would.
I'd
I
be
know
like,
you'd appreciate this.
like,
Yes.
listen, I got to be in front of you. I mean, you know why, right?
Right. I mean, I just opened the door. Doesn't mean you can take my spot.
Exactly. I mean, you know I was here first, right?
Right.
You know that guy that opened the door? How do you think I did that? By getting here before you.
Right.
So-
Exactly. Well, so this came to me because a guy opened the door for me once.
Or I should at least say if it didn't happen that way, I would be upset. You know what I mean?
Right. You'd
if
be
I
annoyed.
didn't,
You'd be looking at the person ahead of you.
yeah, I'd be like,
going,
maybe I shouldn't
"What an
open the door
asshole."
for people.
Right.
Or I would think he's an asshole.
Right.
And I don't think
And I'm not
everyone
doing
would-
that again.
Yeah. I don't think everybody would do that. I think some people would allow me to be in front of them with that understanding. So if they're not doing that, you're the one that's wrong. And whether or not I feel like doing something about it is up to me. But I do think it'd be my right. Like, I think I'd be right to
See,
do
I
that.
think some people who don't think like us would argue that you give up your spot once you open the door.
Those guys are. I don't agree. I've heard their thoughts. I've heard how they think. I don't. I think they're lying to themselves. I think they're being fake. I got a friend who, like, we just discussed something that happened to both of us that where we both got snubbed, and I talked to him on the phone. I'm like, how do you feel about this? And he's like, well, I thought about it, and then I just kind of like let it go. I didn't want to have a problem. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you out of your mind?
I'm holding on to it for life. I'm going to let it turn into cancer.
Yeah, well, then I spoke up about it. People then came to my support, and then he called and he was like, "Listen, you're right. Like, you were right. It did bother me, but I let it not for the convenience of everyone else." I'm like, yeah, well, that's bad.
Right.
Like,
Well, there's some people pleasing. But it's weird because I think we're both probably people pleasers. But like with the guy, the reason I thought of the door thing is because a guy opened the door for me at Starbucks. I walked in. I was like, oh, thank you. And I walked and I went straight up and I went, no, this isn't right. And so I said, oh, no, this is your spot. You know, like you let me in, but and so I'm very thoughtful. I'm very thoughtful. So, but it's the kind of the Larry David thing where he's actually really thinking a lot. You know,
yeah.
in the nuance, and he's not a bad guy, but then people perceive it as him being the asshole. But I gave the guy, or I offered the spot back in line. He refused. So I think that's the ideal scenario.
Is that they open the door and they don't want to be
They just go, oh, no, it's fine. Like, but you show.
very giving?
But you show, right. But you show as the person who was let in front.
Yeah.
You show that you're aware that they inconvenience themselves for you by offering to take your real spot. And if they say, no, don't worry about it, you don't keep going and going, you know, are you
Yeah.
sure? Are you sure? Maybe one, are you sure? But I think that's the
Yeah, and because
pure etiquette.
I
way.
agree.
Yeah.
Because all that is involved, it makes it easier to just not even open the door for anybody.
Exactly. No,
Yeah,
so now
yeah.
I avoid it.
Yeah, it's like if I open the door, I got to start a relationship with this guy.
Exactly.
I'm gonna-
Or like when I
I'll
have
have
resentment.
I'll be resentful
the whole time.
I can't do that.
And then I won't even need the coffee because now my heart rate's up.
How
'cause
was
I'm
your
resentful.
experience at Starbucks? Well, I met an enemy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, when do you not, though? I mean, when you leave the front door, everyone's an idiot. But we're here to love, right?
Try to.
Jorge's here to love. He's here to love me specifically. Thank you for being so nice about my tardiness due to the fact that I almost died.
Thank you, Jorge.
And usually the show goes longer, but we're going to wrap up here because I was late. So, Dean,
Yes.
thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
Yeah. Will you come back
I
sometime?
would come back.
Okay.
If you'd have me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have so much social etiquette to debate. I mean, the list just never ends.
I'm
and
ready.
I think you would really have fun with the debates.
Well, tease me, why don't you?
Okay. Well, I don't want to give away for my audience, so I'll tell you. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
These are for future shows.
Cool.
You know, I got to have content. But anyway, all right. Thanks, guys, for listening. I know the show's been on and off and up and down and all around, but hopefully it'll be more consistent. And yeah, and it should be on YouTube too. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're listening to podcasts, you can also watch it and see the neuroses in real life in action on YouTube at Kristen Carney Comedy on YouTube. But anyway, this has been Kristen Chill Out. I'll see you guys next time.
Yay.
Say it again. Chill out.
Chill